Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since I made a video. It's like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm Jamie, and figured I'd catch everybody up on the how my lease purchase thing is going right now. And so it's been about 3 or 4 weeks since my last video. Everything was going good and stuff then. Now it's getting back better again. I hit a rough patch for about those 3 or 4 weeks. I had DOT tag a trailer that I was hauling. I had to wait a day and a half for that to be fixed. And then the next week, I got coolant level issues, which turned out to be my water pump going out. So I had to. That was 3 days right there. I had to sit in the shop. So that I think that was under warranty. Thank goodness. If not, I think it was like $750, which ain't too bad because I've been here 4.5, 5 months, something like that, and I have about $3,300 in my maintenance account, so it's covered. If I did have to pay for it, but I don't think I did. I think it was warranty. So yeah, I had that trailer problem. So the week before the trailer problem, I was on home time, which I take a long home time, which is about 3.5, 4 days. So my checks on that week are always horrible. I'm lucky to get $300 or something like that. If I get real lucky, it's like 500. But usually those checks, which I choose to do that. If I would only stay home like 2 days, it wouldn't be that bad. But I have kids and a wife, so I like to stay home as much as I can. So I was home on that week. The next week I had the trailer issue, which was supposed to be a full week, which is to use my good checks. Well, that screwed that up. And then the next week, like in the middle of that week, I had the truck issue, water pump. So then that screwed up that next check. So there's 3 back-to-back checks that were horrible, which put me in the hole. I was in the hole about $500 coming out to this week, or this time out. So I come out for 3 weeks to make up for it and build my savings back up. Luckily, I had savings. I advise that a lot. Save as much as possible just in case you run into hiccups, because you're going to. It's just going to happen. Either personal hiccups or truck issues or whatever. Make sure you have, I would say at least $3,000 in the bank in savings, just in case, to cover all your bills, not your personal bills. And if you don't have any, great. But I have more than I should in bills. If you're looking into doing this, I would suggest paying off as many bills as you can. It helps for the times that you do run into trouble and you don't have a good week. It helps a lot. So I come out here for 3 weeks to make up for all that. Running good right now. Last week I had like 1,500. The first week I had like 1,500 miles, which is only because that was my home week. So I come back out on Monday and Tuesday. So it was like 2.5 days-ish on that pay period, and I got out of the hole I was in with the negative 500, and then this week I'm back in the positive. I had today's Wednesday, so pay period ended yesterday. I had about 2,500 miles, which ain't too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. So I got back out of the hole on that. Other than that, everything's doing great still. Not really any issues except for the truck issue, which is, you can't help that. The truck had 380,000 miles on it, so you're going to have issues, especially on like water pumps, alternator, stuff that wears out constantly. That's just the way it is. If that's all the issues you have driving a truck, then you're doing great. So definitely save up money for those situations. I was lucky they had a water pump. I've heard of people having to wait weeks to get water pumps. So I got lucky. So if that happens to you, you better have at least a couple thousand saved. I had about 2,000 saved, and I used almost every bit of it. So these 3 bad weeks. But everything's running good. I'm getting good miles. I had 2,500 last week, so, and I'm working on a 600 mile this week already. And it's only Wednesday, so they're keeping me busy. I would say it's up to you, but I would say stay out as much as you can. It will be easier that way. You'll get more miles. You can bring home more, etc. I do the 10 out, 4 home or 3 home, which gets me a decent week, which is usually around 1,200-ish to 14. If everything's perfect, on a great week, it's like 2,000. But that has to be a super great week. No traffic, and everything fall just right. But usually 12 to 14 on the 10 days out. And then the week I'm home for home week is horrible, which I'm willing to sacrifice that as long as I do good on that first week. When you don't, I have to come out here for several weeks to make up for it. And then the holidays are coming up, so it's going to be even worse. So I'll do it again after Thanksgiving, come out here for 3 weeks and make up for the week off for Thanksgiving. But that's just how it works. And I'm willing to sacrifice that to be home more. But if you're able to, if you don't have anything holding you home, the longer you're out here, the more you're going to make. But that's really about it. I mean, everything's running great, working good. They're keeping me busy. I have no complaints about dispatch or anything like that. I hardly hear from them. Every now and then I'll call them for them to dispatch me a load or make sure I have a pre-assignment. That's another thing. Don't hesitate to call them to make sure you have a pre-assignment already. So like this load I'm on now isn't supposed to drop till tomorrow, but I'll be there early, which is a drop and hook, so it's fine. But since it wasn't supposed to deliver to tomorrow, they put my PTA out till tomorrow. So technically they wouldn't look for me a load until tomorrow sometime. And I figured that, so I went ahead and called and said, hey, do they have a pre-assignment ready for me? And they didn't. So I let them know I'll be there in 4 hours. So that gives them 4 hours time to find me a load either today or tomorrow morning. It just depends on how freight is right here or up over there in Birmingham. So it helps you being proactive like that and thinking ahead, not waiting until you get there and be like, oh, do you guys have a load for me? No. And then you get all upset because they say no. But it's kind of your fault because you didn't tell them you're going to be early to the drop. So be proactive as much as you can, and that'll help you out on miles. And then you're not always going to get those big runs. I had 2 500-mile runs, which ain't that big, but they had me back-to-back loads. There's several times I get 300-mile runs. Just make sure when you do those that they let them know when you're going to get there, and make sure they have loads lined up for you after. I will say the biggest thing I have problem with or issues with is like when you're coming off home time and you start out here and you're running great, and then something happens like a place doesn't have an empty trailer for you to take and they have to find you an empty, or if like when I broke down, it took them a day and a half just to find me another empty trailer and load. So be prepared for that. If you're going good and something happens and it stops your momentum for your mileage, it's going to take a minute to get back going again because they have to pre-route you pretty much. So don't get all upset if they don't have you a load right away or an empty trailer. Like last Monday when I come out, which they knew I was able to drive Monday at 8 a.m. Well, they didn't find me an empty trailer to take until or to go get until 8 p.m. So 12 hours later, they finally found me an empty trailer, and then I got to go. I went and got my load, and then went about an hour or so up the road, and then I shut down because I've been up already since 7:30. So sometimes it takes them a little bit to find you a load. Which is understandable. They have I don't know how many, 1,000 trucks or whatever, so they're doing other things, and they don't have empty trailers just lying around everywhere. They have to wait for a shipper or receiver to empty a trailer or something like that, or for some other driver to drop an empty trailer off, which is what happened to mine. So if you can, take an empty trailer home with you on home time. That way you don't run into that problem. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on how it falls. If you do, you really never have a problem. They usually have a load for you right then if you already have it empty. What else? Just make sure you're keeping up with your maintenance on your truck. Make sure you're always constantly looking over. Like when I had that water pump issue, thank goodness I found it, because if that water pump would have went out while I was driving, it would have been catastrophic. I'm not sure what happens at that point, if I have to pay for that, or if it's a warranty or what. I'm not sure how that works. But just keep an eye on your stuff. Look for leaks. The biggest thing is you can tell when the truck's not running right. You drive the same truck thousands of miles a week. You can feel and know when something's not right. Another thing, it depends on. I'm a game person. I like to play games. I'm an Xbox guy. So you own this truck. So if you like to do those things, computer, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, TV, or just a TV, smart TV that you can watch movies, get it out here. Get it in here. You know, get you a mount. I'll do another video I'll put up about how all my stuff's set up. But I got mounted to this mounted to the tall closet, and my TV's sitting on there, and then I got my Xbox and stuff in the bottom. And then I got a Verizon hotspot. It's got 150 gigs, and I play Warzone. If you guys know what that is, and it does. I hardly ever use it more than 80 gigs, maybe. So it has plenty of power to play online, and that right there, dude, that'll keep you from going crazy out here. Every driver I talk to, I tell them. I've had several of y'all ask me questions about the company and stuff like that, and I make sure and tell us, if you do those things, bring it out here. It'll keep you from going crazy, keeps you busy. It just helps you out. It makes the lifestyle a little bit better. And then, like I said before in other videos, keep your stuff clean. Like, take pride in what you do. I know a lot of people, they have a bad opinion about truck drivers. They're nasty, which a lot are, which is sad, because there's definitely not a reason they should be. You get free showers, you get free showers. They give you towels. There's soap in there that you can use for hair and body. I would suggest getting your own soap, but if times are tough and you have to use theirs, then so be it. But there's no reason you should be stinky and smelly and your truck a disaster. You have plenty of time to keep your truck clean. I have a little vacuum I use. I suck up the floor, the dash, wherever there's dust or whatever, wipe off the dash. Take pride in your stuff, stay organized. I'll show you something else. This right here is a big helper. It has different folders in it and stuff. and I keep all my trip sheets. I staple them all together, or staple each trip together, and then I put it in here by the month. So if Us Xpress comes back and says, hey, we can't find this paperwork, do you have it? I have 12 months worth of paperwork saved. So all I have to do is go back to that month, go to the date, pull it out, send it to them. It comes in really handy. That way you don't have paper scattered all over through your stuff, or all over your dash, or in a cubby somewhere. It's all nice and neat in there. Definitely staple them together, because if you're sitting there trying to look through all these papers, you have no idea what papers go with what trips. So staple them together, shove it in there, and you're good to go. Get you a mouse. These are driver techs with the computer in the truck. You can plug a mouse into the side of it and use a mouse instead of sitting there trying to tap on the screen. That helps a lot. Get you a bunch of these things too. I know I like to put stuff on the dash sometimes, my wallet or my glasses or whatever. Little rubber things that you can buy at Love's. Some Love's, and they don't always have them, but they just stick to the dash, and then you can put your stuff on top of them, and it keeps it from sliding off across the dash or whatever. Get you a Bluetooth for the truck. The trucks don't have built-in Bluetooth for phones, so get you a built-in Bluetooth, or get you a Bluetooth from Love's, or I think they're like $30. That way you can play your own music. Because I hate having to flip through stations all the darn time, and then there's never nothing good on unless you're in a certain city that you know the station to. So that right there keeps you from going stir crazy in the truck, or do what I do, make random videos. But there's always things you can do to better your life out here. The biggest one is, I would say, staying clean, staying organized. Take pride in what you do. Just because there is a stereotype out for truckers doesn't mean you have to be that stereotype. I know a lot of people think that we're poor out here and look like slobs, but the reality is it's totally opposite. You can take pride in yourself and look nice, and you make a lot of money. But like I said, everything's going good. No really objections yet. I'm still waiting on my buddy to get out here. He's run into issues, so I'm still waiting on him to get out here so we can run team. Eventually get away from Us Xpress, sign on to somebody else that does a 80-20 split. I think once he's out here, we'll stay here a year, get his year of experience, and then go probably to Landstar for a year. That way we make more money, get more experience on the whole, booking your own loads and stuff. And then my buddy's dad, Tim Corley, he has a company that you can lease onto, or sign onto, lease onto, whatever, onto his authority, and he does an 80-20 split. I think he does videos still. You can look him up, Tim Corley Trucking. Great guy. But yeah, that's our plan, is to go over there and run for a while, and then maybe after probably 5 or so years there, maybe once we know what we're doing stuff, maybe do owner operator, your own authority. We'll see. But that's to be continued. Once first we gotta get him out here. It's looking like December, maybe January. He's supposed to start school in the next couple months or so. So we'll see how that goes. I know people say it's going to run the truck a lot of miles. Yeah, but we should be able to pay it off twice as fast too. And I know once we get away from Us Xpress, we're going to have to trade it in anyways, because there will be a lot of miles on it. And the longer you keep them, the more you're going to pay. I know there's guys that they spend $60,000-$80,000 sometimes in maintenance or when they have issues or whatever, and that's just ridiculous. If you're going to spend that amount of money, you might as well buy a new truck. That's well over a down payment for a new truck. Down payment's around $30,000. So if you're going to spend $60,000 to $80,000, you might as well. That can practically pay for a truck almost if you get a used one. Yeah, I'll do another video in the upcoming weeks. Update you on this week I'm out now. Might get out of this hole and get to making money again. But like I said, everything's going good. The company's good. The people so far are good. Dispatchers and stuff. Whoever I talk to. But yeah. Until next time.